Cancer is the body's last attempt to get rid of all of the different cytotoxins and metabolic waste that have been built up into your bloodstream from you eating the wrong foods. Cancers and tumors are good for you when the body has a bunch of toxins in them. Yes, it is.
How long should these cancer and tumors last?
Until you eradicate all the toxins out of the body. We get rid of tumors all the time, and the body gets rid of cancer all the time. I'm not a healer. I just help facilitate the healing. The body is a healer. I'll be disingenuous and I will be on a high horse to say that I heal the body of anything. No, you have the power. Your body heals itself, and you can do this without buying herbs from me. That's how it's not about the money. I'm a millionaire. It's not about the money. It's showing you who you are and the capabilities that the creator gave you. So for instance, if you're constantly eating foods that you're not supposed to be eating, whenever you eat these foods get broken down and get delivered to the cell. When the foods get broken down and get delivered to the cells eat these foods on a micro level. Well, just like you have to defecate and go to the toilet, your cells defecate. They just don't have legs and they're floating on an interstitial fluid called lymphatic fluid, so they poop on top of them cells. Well, what's supposed to happen is the lymphatic fluid goes through the body and it picks up all of the metabolic waste from the cells and take it to lymph nodes. When it goes to the lymph nodes, you have macrophages and bacteria that breaks this food down. When you break this food down, these foods turn into acid. So they got to go through these lymph vessels, go to the kidneys, and then you urine it out through something called urea. That's what your metabolic waste break down to, potentially urea and creatinine, and then you urinate it out, right? So this is the crazy thing about this, right? If the food you eating is mucus forming and is acidic forming, they start to burn the cell. When they burn the cells, it messes up the integrity of the cells, and then it starts sucking the oxygen out of the cells. So the cells are made to go in an anaerobic state. Anaerobic mean without oxygen. Aerobic mean with oxygen. So whenever the body goes through a stage where they have to proliferate, or if they have to survive without oxygen, something sets in. It's called mutation. These are your 4 stages of detoxification, but the actual allopathic community will tell you that it's the 4 stages to disease. The first one is deficiency. So whenever you're deficient of minerals, whenever you're deficient of amino acids, or whenever you're deficient of oxygen, the next thing that sets in is actually adaptation. So since I'm deficient and my body is a healing mechanism, I'm going to adapt to my environment for I can live longer, right? So what's going to happen in the cancer stage? I need to adapt. I'm not getting enough oxygen. Well, let me create these parasites. Let me create these anaerobic lactic acid so I can live without the oxygen. And I'm just going to start gathering all these cells up and putting them in a bag. And then I'm going to steal blood supply called angiogenesis. Now I got my own blood supply, plus I'm getting rid of all the trash. So now we actually see adaptation to the cells. Well, since the cells have to adapt, now they have to mutate to survive. So we have deficiency, we have adaptation, then we have mutation. Now that's what they say the cells, malignant cells, because they mutated. They don't look the same no more. They shouldn't look the same. It had to change to live in the environment. These are hard healing steps. Then once they go through its mutation state, then major detoxification sets in. And this is where you start seeing symptomologies of cold and flu-like symptoms, coughing, sneezing, fever, inflammation, redness, swelling, and pain. Everything, all them symptoms I just said is a symptomology of a tumor. So is the tumor there to kill you? No, it's there to help you. Now, could a tumor kill you? Yes, it can if it blocks blood flow. But anything can block blood flow. A traumatic experience, getting in a car accident, can block blood flow that you can die of. So we can't blame it on that. It's kind of like you see me, a bank get robbed every week. Every week you see the bank get robbed, you see Yahki there. And the first thing you're going to say, Yahki have to be the robber. Because every time a bank get robbed, he's there. What happened if I'm there trying to save the bank from being robbed because I know the information and I know where they're going at next? That's the same thing that's happening with disease. We're blaming things on germs. We're blaming things on viruses. We're blaming things on all of this because every time you see the corruption or you see the evil standing of these things, you see something associated with it. But we never changed the perspective because we stuck in a European mindset and stepped outside the box and looked at it in a different way. Oh, every time I see Yahki at the bank when the bank is being robbed because he's he's trying to stop the robbers. Same thing with the parasites. They're trying to stop the robbers from the deficiency orders. Same thing with the bacteria, or what we call these pleomorphic microbiotas that's in the body. They're trying to stop the issue. Whenever you see acids in the body, you're going to see a bunch of bacteria, because bacteria is in the body to eat acids. It's supposed to keep everything at homeostasis. So the first thing they're going to say is you have a bacterial what? Infection. You're not infected with anything. The bacteria over-culturalized and overpopulated themselves for they can have enough to eat the acids, because if these acids stay on the cells too long, you will go into an anaerobic state, and then the last stage of detoxification will kick in, which is what? Deficiency, adaptation, mutation. You see that? And then now you're creating cancer. We are too busy blaming the things in our body that's trying to heal our body as the actual criminals, when the real criminals is the things that we've been putting in our mouths, or the pollutants that they putting in the air, or the contaminants that they putting in the water, or the sun blocking technology they got right now, or the actual nanobot technology they giving us through penetrating our skins and delivering certain types of things, to the GMOs. To all these other different things. We're not looking outside of ourselves and blaming the real issue. Our real issue is discipline. Our real issue is the love for oneself. Our real issue is the lack of communication with ourselves.